Good day everyone, I am Jelura Alberio and I will be discussing how the cell communicates. When we hear the word communication, the first two words that came up in our mind are sender and receiver. Am I right? Well, the same as the cells that made up the living organisms. They do communication to perform a specific task. There are many ways that cells can communicate with one another. Some of them use short-range signals to communicate nearby cells, while some cells communicate with their neighbors through direct contact, and other cells are even responsible for creating hormone signals that travel throughout the entire body and affects many different cells in different tissues and organs. To understand more on cell communication, let's tackle how cell signaling actually works. Most signals starts when a protein on the surface of the cell receives a signal. This signal could be a chemical or physical stimulus like touch, light, or sound waves. But if it is a chemical, there is what we call a ligand, which is a receptor protein that receives a very specific signal. Once the receptor protein receives the signal, it catalyzes a reaction on the inside of the cell, and the product of this reaction starts a cascade of the other reactions, which is a process known as signal transduction. This chain reaction eventually leads to a cellular response. These responses can vary greatly depending on the cell signal received. In addition, there is an easier way to classify cell communication. It is to break down the distance where signal has to travel. For example, in a plant cell, cells passing chemical messages goes through the pores like plasmodesmata that connects two or more cells together. While some cell signaling are accounted in a sense of touch, the large majority cell signaling are sent via chemical messenger. Chemical messages that affect the same cell they are originated in are known as autocrine signals. However, local regulator molecules like neurotransmitters are known as paracrine signals because they only affect nearby cells. Finally, endocrine signaling covers the most distance of all the chemical signaling methods. The glands that are part in the endocrine system and sense hormones and other signaling molecules are through the bloodstream to affect target cells across the body. So that's it for today, and see you in my next video presentation.